Hello everybody, we're here working on San Marcos Capítulo 4, Parte 3, Chapter 4, Part 3, and as always, make sure you do not depend on these videos too much to get through. Make sure you are attempting on your own to go through each reading. And if you still don't understand some things, you're like some things cleared up, please feel free to access these videos as well. This is only to help you clarify and does not replace the actual reading. La parábola de la semilla de mostaza. Now here is the next parable that we have. We've been working with several parables during this chapter of Mark for this week. También dijo Jesús, Jesus also said, ¿A qué se parece el reino de Dios? So what does the kingdom of God, reino de Dios, the kingdom of God, what does it look like? What can we say it looks like? What does it appear like? Or con qué podremos compararlo? With what shall we compare it? Or with what can we compare it? Shall we compare it? Podremos in the future. It can be I wonder what we can compare it to. Okay, es como una semilla de mostaza. It is like a mustard seed. So again, of course, this is the famous parable of the mustard seed. So if you're familiar with it, that just helps you all the more. So what happens to this mustard seed? Se siembra en la tierra. It is planted in the ground. It's planted in the earth. Es la más pequeña de todas las semillas del mundo. Is the smallest of all the seeds on the world. Pero una vez sembrada, but once it's planted, once it's sown, crece. It grows y se hace mayor que todas las otras plantas del huerto. It grows and becomes. Now, se hace can mean to become, literally to make oneself. So it becomes larger, mayor, que todas las otras plantas del huerto, all the other plants of the garden. A huerto is garden or orchard. That's a common last name, something like huerto, huerta. Ortiz is actually the last name Ortiz is derived from this too. Con ramas tan grandes que hasta las aves pueden posarse bajo su sombra. So with branches that are so big that even the birds can perch, posarse. They can stop it and place themselves there, right? And it's shade. Sombra is a shadow. So the shadow of the tree. El uso que Jesús hacía de las parábolas. This is the use that Jesus had, that he makes of the parables. So how Jesus makes use of the parables. De esa manera les enseñaba Jesús el mensaje. So in this way, Jesus taught the message. What way is that? Well, it's through the parables, right? Por medio de muchas parábolas como estas. By means of, por medio de means by means of, many parables like these, right? Estas refers to the parables that we just mentioned in the book of Mark. Parábola is feminine, so como estas, like these ones here, right? Estas, right? That accent helps you understand. Estas, según podían entender, according to what they could understand. Pero no les decía nada sin parábolas, aunque sus discípulos se lo explicaba todo aparte. So he didn't tell them anything without parables. So he only spoke in parables, though he explained everything. Se lo explicaba todo. He explained everything to his disciples, todo aparte. That's on the side, or he took them aside to explain these parables. So he didn't explain it in front of the people, and specifically the Pharisees and the spies they were using. Okay, Jesús calma la tormenta. Now we're done with the parables and we get to something different here. Jesus calms the storm. La tormenta is the storm. You can think of something that's a torment in the weather. Maybe you can think of it that way. Al anochecer de aquel mismo día. So this is important here. It connects it to what just happened, doesn't it? Nightfall on that very same day. On the very same day. So it's important here that the writer, right, and you know, there's a point to be made here. There's a reason why it's here, right, at nightfall on the very same day. It's very important that we know that. It's very important. God is telling us this connects to everything we've seen before. Jesús dijo a sus discípulos. So Jesus told his disciples, vamos al otro lado del lago. So let's go to the other side of the lake. Otro lado. Entonces dejaron a la gente y llevaron a Jesús en la barca en que ya estaba. Y también otras barcas lo acompañaban. Okay. So, entonces is so, they left the people. Right? Dejar is to leave behind. It can also mean to permit or to allow. So in this case, they're leaving the people. Right? They're leaving the people there. And they took Jesus, llevaron, they took Jesus in the boat that he was already in. So remember, Jesus went into the boat to teach the people. So we were looking at the part 1, right? So he's still in the boat there when they decided to take him. Y también otras barcas, and many, and also other boats accompanied him. Other boats were going with him. Lo acompañaban. En esto se desató una tormenta. All right, and while that was happening, right, en esto, as that happened, se desató una tormenta. So atarse, atar means to be kind of tied up. So desató means it was unleashed. So a storm was unleashed, a storm started con un viento tan fuerte, right, with such a strong wind que las olas caían sobre la barca. The waves crashed, right? They fell. The waves fell onto the boat. De modo que se llenaba de agua, so that it was filling with water. Okay, the boat was getting water in it, which is not good. Pero Jesús se había dormido en la parte de atrás, apoyado sobre una almohada. So Jesus, had fallen asleep. Okay, now how do we know he fell asleep? Well, it says se había dormido. Dormirse means to fall asleep, whereas dormir just means to sleep. So he had fallen asleep en la parte de atrás, in the back part of this boat. Apoyado sobre una almohada, he was supported, he was leaning on a pillow. Lo despertaron, they woke him up, y le dijeron, they said to him, Maestro, Master, ¿no te importa que nos estemos hundiendo? So don't you care? ¿No te importa? Isn't it important to you? Doesn't it matter to you? Don't you care? Care about what? Que nos estemos hundiendo. That we're going to drown. Don't you care? Jesús se levantó. And so Jesus got up, se levantó, y dio una orden al viento. He gave an order to the wind. He commanded the wind. Y dijo al mar, and he said to the sea, Silencio, quédate quieto. Silence. Be calm. Right? Quédate quieto. Be quiet. El viento se calmó. So the wind calmed down. Y todo quedó completamente tranquilo. So everything remained completely peaceful or tranquil. Después dijo Jesús a los discípulos, so Jesus says after that to the disciples, ¿por qué están asustados? Why are you surprised? Why are you shocked? ¿Todavía no tienen fe? You still don't have faith? Ellos se llenaron de miedo, so they were filled with fear. Y se preguntaban unos a otros, and they asked each other, right? They asked each other, ¿quién será este que hasta el viento y el mar lo obedecen, right? What kind of man can this be? Or I wonder what kind of guy he is. ¿Quién será este? Okay, that's the noun here. It's a pronoun. Pronoun is takes place of a noun. So I wonder who this person could be. I wonder who this man could be. Okay. Que hasta el viento, that even the wind and the sea obey him. Okay, that'll finish it up for part 3.